This segment of our program, we will continue our coverage for the World Youth Forum, which is currently taking place in the Egyptian Sea Resort of Sharm el-Sheikh. And in this edition, we will focus on the theme of sustainable development, which is one of the important themes which is being tackled these days in the forum. And we are joined here in the studio with Dr. Ahmed Rashed, is director of the Center of Farouk El-Baz for Sustainability and Future Studies. Good morning.
Good morning, Doctor. First of all, now, how do you see the points tackled during the World Youth Forum in terms of achieving sustainable development?
I'm sure that this is one of the events which is, an opportunity and chance for many of the views and ideas to be discussed. And the sustainable development is not only one issue, it is all different issues related to the future. We have this kind of, we used to say that we have a quality of life. We would like to have a better quality of life, but how to achieve the better quality of life? So sustainable development is something which the international community, the UN, addressed and started every country to try to implement it on each, basis, and for, a near future which they would like to achieve according to the challenges they have. So for Egypt, we have this kind of 2030 vision for sustainable development, which was launched, 2 years ago or 3 years when we have this conference about the Economic March 2015. We with the mega projects which we said that we would like to achieve, we said that in parallel we are going to have a sustainable development vision for the future generations to be, something everybody will work for it. So that was one of the things which, again, we are within this forum. We will have different angles, with different point of views from different countries and from different youths, which they would like to achieve the sustainable development according to the agenda.
Yes.
So yesterday there was, I think, one of the panels about Africa and sustainable development,
yes,
which is very important because many of the presidents and the prime ministers have been, explained from their point of view how Africa is going to be one of the futuristic power within the international community and how we could achieve it in different, languages and different meanings for such, target. So when we have in Egypt launched that one, which is 2030, still there is a gap between the implementation and the hopes which we'd like to achieve, and this is realistic. We should be realistic that sustainability and sustainable development should be something which is, I used to say that it is going to be within the cake, it's not the topping of the cake. So it is, something which be in different stages. It's going to be within the policy, within the plan, within the program, then the projects. And it's going, we have the tools to achieve it. From 1994, when Egypt already have the environmental law, so law number 4, for the impact assessment is one of the tools how we could, within our law, have things and ideas and strategies for the future. And that was one of the things which I think still it needs what we so-called the culture of sustainability before it be, very powerful in all our decisions.
So, sir, what are the measures undertaken by the UN to achieve the sustainable development?
There are, I think, 17
yes,
of those different measures in all different aspects, like the energy, use the energy, how, the population, the empowerment of the community, the use of water, different angles. And we as Egypt, we talk from all these 17s, some of the issues, and we would like to aim for mainly 4 of those as a target like economic surplus, how you can have a better economic situation, happy citizen, one of the things, how to achieve through education, the road for achieving. So there are different issues which Egypt took and put it within the agenda for a better future.
Dr. Ahmed, I'd like to ask you also about how can we overcome unemployment, because unemployment was another issue that was tackled during the forum, how to overcome it to reach sustainable development. So how can we do that from your field of expertise, especially that you're the director of the Zoil development, excuse me, the El-Baz, Farouk El-Baz development, as well as sustainability, Center for Sustainability and Future Studies as well.
Oh, this is one of the other issues which is parallel, that how we are going to have a qualified youth to be able to be in a competitive situation within the market. And what is the projects which we are going to have a suitable opportunities for those, young. So the government will think from top down in the different levels, but again, if you would like to have a qualified personnel to work in one of the international organizations, so you should have this kind of a leveling our graduates to be able to work. So otherwise, if you are going to have a job opportunity and they are not going to be qualified, so we'll find other people coming from other places, okay, to work in Egypt. So it will be the other side of what we would like to achieve. So from my point of view, Egypt is a very wealthy country. And we have a lot of challenges and a lot of need of ideas out of the box. I used to say that even for Suez Canal, and that was one of the things which we try with the Egyptian Engineering Syndicate. We have this kind of competition. It was under the title of Hope and Job, okay, and Work. And it was we're going to have personnel and communities to be suitable for this optimistic, project or, development. And that was one of the, if we would like to be, every one of us, we have a kind of leakage within our education system. So we have two approaches. We are going to start from zero level to achieve this, so it will take a long time. And otherwise, we could work in integration. Okay, this is what we so-called enterprise, entrepreneurial, ideas. So we, as a group, we could complete, and integrate together to achieve ideas which could make this kind of change according to our need. So we should have like 2030 is kind of a ceiling, but we should be under, have our ground, what we are really need and what we already could be achieved. So one of the things which I used to have with my students or colleagues, even I ask all of them, and I said that we should all understand what we meant by 2030 as a ceiling.
Yes,
and
can you shed light on Egypt's vision for 2030?
Because many of the challenges are there. Yes, some people have some criticism about 2030s, but at least we have an agenda, and it is it needs some more clarification, but at least we have. So I used to say even for the graduation project dissertation, for conferences, which we have all the things, that we are going to read 2030s. We are going to have to complete the gap, but everyone could have like a letter or a word or a sentence or a paragraph for 2030s. It is all of us which are going to work on it. So as you mentioned that, if you would like for job opportunities, there will be opportunities, but the problem that to have a qualified youth, this is going to be one of the things we have to work on it. And I think this is one of the education and scientific research is the only tool to cover that, and to be assured what we could start with. We should have priorities which we could start. We have two options. We need to have, if we would like to have kind of, before building a civilization, we should have the builders of the civilization. So we have to prepare those who could be able, step by step. So I use that we could jump, but again, if we could have a group walking in one step only, better than have one only person who is already, you know, achieve and be international organized. So step by step we could achieve, and by all means we are on the track. Now, at least one of the forum, the youth forum, we said that we have 1,000 of our Egyptians. And within the 1,000 of Egyptians, there are millions others. But at least we have the 1,000 to start with. Then we are going to follow with others and others and others to have something different. And I used to see that the culture of sustainability is not something easy, because the word sustainability sometimes is varied. There is a word livability, which is mean today and here.
Yes.
Sustainability will be for tomorrow and there. And this is, again, let's not be understood. And everybody would like to be, you know, having the results and the fruits. No, we should understand that will be a stage, and for a community to pave the road, then it's going to be what we achieve for coming generations. And this is sustainability and sustainable development.
Yes. Well, Doctor, also one of the sessions was entitled Differences Among Cultures and Civilizations, Conflict or Integration. And actually it discussed mainly how humanitarian issues can contribute to achieving reapproachment among different civilizations, and how cultural diversity can help enrich civilizations. How do you see the importance of such a session?
I have my own initiative with the National Academy of Science that we are looking for our civilization rights within the world. And we used to say that we are, you know, within the international civilizations, we are the civilization which, you know, started all over the world. And this was yesterday was mentioned by the panel that Egypt started, then other follow. This is not the debate, but again, there is a bridges between civilization and another, and we could use our heritage, okay, and everybody, you know, we are the only civilization which have this kind of a scientific Egyptology. There is no Italiology, there is no USology, but we have Egyptology. But we have a responsibility to elevate ourselves, to be equal to that, to such civilization. So again, civilizations is something which could ease between all different communities, and with the respect for our civilization, we could, you know, be the bridge between all different civilizations, which happened yesterday in the panel.
So, sir, we'll have a look on an interview that was held yesterday by one of our colleagues on the sidelines of the forum, and Nile TV's senior correspondent Taghrit Hussein also conducted the following interview with the Hungarian Deputy State Secretary and Minister of Human Resources, Her Excellency Dr. Elise Boglarka.
Dignitaries, VIPs, diversity of cultures, diversity of personalities coming to Egypt, flocking from every country here to Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, to enjoy charming atmosphere, and also the vitality of the youth in the air and the World Youth Forum. We're really delighted and honored to have with us Her Excellency Dr. Elise Boglarka, Deputy State Secretariat at the Ministry of Human Affairs in Hungary. And Excellency, it has been always a pleasure having you. First of all, a very warm welcome to Egypt. You yourself is a great representative of Hungarian women empowerment and the youth. So tell me more about Your Excellency's participation in the World Youth Forum.
So I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for your invitation to this great and wonderful event. So I am the living example, because I am a leader, and I am a woman. I am 29 years old, and I am the youngest leader in the Hungarian government. And I am responsible for youth affairs, aged between 15 and 29. Those are the definition of youth in Hungary, and for equal opportunities.
A great face of beautiful Hungary, and a great impression of a country that really invests in the youth, having a minister, a part of the government represented in yourself at the age of 29. It means that a country that further fosters the capacities and the potentials of the youth. What does it take to invest in youth leadership skills?
So we have long-term programs for youth and for talented youth. We have a national youth strategy and a national talent program, and we can support through this program the youth and the talented youth.
Tell me more, Excellency, concerning the Egyptian contribution. Definitely your presence is going to add to this important file and a sense of exchange with the youth of Egypt and also with the Ministry of Egyptian Youth under the auspices of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, who is a real believer in the youth and their capacity and their potential and what they have to offer.
So youth can create the future, because the future are the youth also, and we are a strategic partnership with the Egyptian Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs, and we will have an exchange programs, we hope so, between the youth in Hungary and between the youth in Egypt.
Definitely this is going to happen, and when we invest in the youth, we are investing in our future, and we are looking forward to tomorrow. This sense of diversified cultures and the fora is actually a very good chance for the youth to know each other and also to build on their strength. We do have a slogan that says we need to talk. So when we talk, we know more about one another and we explore each other's strengths. How can we build on that and build on this culture of understanding and this message of peace that Egypt sends to the whole world?
So we have to meet our cultural differences and similarities, and we have a student exchange programs. The name of that is Stipendium Hungaricum, maybe you know that, and there are 100 Egyptian scholarship from Egypt, and they can learn in Hungarian universities, and there can meet with Hungarian university students and many other youngsters in Hungary through a whole year, and I think it's a good example, and we can meet our culture.
Definitely. Excellency, tell us more about your sharing in the different sessions and contributions. Definitely you have more to say concerning the Hungarian experience in fostering further the youth capacities and potential in Hungary, and a sense of cooperation also with Egypt in the future.
So in Hungary, within our youth policy, we see young people in a complex way, not only as a unit. And we would like to help them, and we would like to support them through the transition from childhood to adulthood and from education to employment. So one of the most interesting area or program here is the program for young entrepreneurs. I think that is one of our biggest challenge. So we need to talk about creativity and about peace, which is the slogan of this conference and forum.
Finally, Excellency, a message of peace, a message of love, of harmony and prosperity that you send through Sharm el-Sheikh to the whole world, and also to countrymen in Budapest from Egypt, from beautiful Sharm el-Sheikh. What would you tell them?
We can build a better future, and the future will be better if we build it together.
Definitely, when we are together, we will achieve wonderful things to come. Excellency Dr. İlse Boglaka, the Deputy State Secretariat at the Ministry of Human Affairs in Hungary, thank you so much for joining Nile TV. Always a pleasure having you. You're a great embodiment of youth and women empowerment too. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, welcome back, and we've just seen a report by our senior reporter and colleague Taghreed Hussein from the World Youth Forum, and now we're continuing our interview with Dr. Ahmed Rashed, and he is the founding director as well as the director of the Farouk El-Baz Center for Sustainability and Future Studies. Well, Doctor, we were talking about reaching the goals of the Sustainable Development 2030. And I'd like to ask about how can we utilize our youth, the expats living abroad, especially that during this World Forum there'll be more than 250 Egyptians, young individuals who are living abroad, and they'll be coming maybe for the first time to attend a conference in Egypt. So how can we benefit from our young expats for the development of Egypt?
Okay. This is one of the things which, again, sometimes when we ask about job opportunities, and so those are a bit, you know, a unique Egyptians who already been qualified to be in competitive around the world. So they got the opportunity, and they have been already in a level which is sometimes higher than what is the Egyptian market need. And this is a big problem sometimes if you are going to be involved in studies there. So the gap will start to be step by step. They will be in a better positions, and it will be difficult for them to return back. So an opportunity like this event should again have a kind of bridging and linking with the Egyptian reality needs and what they already have been achieved from the other side. So this is again to keep them in touch. This is very important, and I think that they could be each one of them not only just an ambassador, but a light for another Egyptians here, and he could have groups of colleagues or followers to you know, show them what has happened there. And I knew many of them were already doing such a very respected role within this, you know, kind of. They would like to have a better future in Egypt. But the problem sometimes that to what extent, if they are going to return back to be like others, or what they achieve as they are different. So this is again one of the things which we should work on both sides for those who already been there, and from the reality here to close the gap, which is already, we have to be realistic when we talk about it.
So sir, can you elaborate on the Green Pyramids rating system?
The Green Pyramid is one of the things which tools to achieve the sustainable development.
Yes.
It was already launched 2 or 3 months after 6-7 years, okay, of preparation within the Housing and Building National Research Center, okay, and it was if we'd like to have buildings green rating system, so they're going to be sustainable buildings.
Yes.
We should have this kind of indicators and issues. So from choosing the site, the using of the energy,
Yes.
using of water, the thermal comfort inside, the materials which they use, the design, and again the creativity. So all of these are kind of scoring and aims to achieve within the design, to have a sustainable building, then a sustainable neighborhood, and a sustainable country. So we tried now for making the Green Pyramid implemented. There are different other rating system internationally.
Yes.
So there was an international one, and already been, you know, people in Egypt, they got the certificate to be with the other different rating system, but we would like to have our Egyptian one. So we are now with the Center of Housing and Building, we are launching a competition, how we are going to have a workshop building to be designed. And we said this could be why workshop, because this will be for all the people, for all the community to understand. It could be a mosque, it could be a church, whatever,
Yes.
but those who are going to be involved. And again, it is not 100% the rating system be understood. So what we're going to learn through it, even those who are going to launch the competition, those who are going to judge and participate, we are all together using the virtual or the competition as a tool, not an aim for discussion and having a better situation of our community to be sustainable.
Doctor, we will be continuing our talk together, but first let's have a look at the following report by our own correspondent and reporter Linda Abdel-Latif from the World Youth Forum, where she met with Australia's youngest app developer.
Of the World Youth Forum, I'm very delighted to be joined by Yuma from Australia, who's the youngest app developer in the world. Yuma, could you please introduce yourself first?
Yeah, my name is Yuma and I am a 10-year-old iOS app developer, and I started coding at the age of 6, and now I have 6 apps on the App Store, and I'm also the youngest scholarship winner at WWDC this year, which is a conference by Apple, which is annually held.
Tell us a little bit more about the applications that you've developed.
So my 6 apps on the App Store. So my latest one is called the Stack AR, and so it's a fun stacking game in real life where you actually try and stack the tallest tower of blocks, and they get shorter and shorter depending on your accuracy. And my first app is called Kid Calculator, and it's a simple, fun calculator for kids, and it actually tells you which number, which operation you pressed on.
Okay, so you told me that you've got to meet Michelle Obama. Could you please tell us a little bit more how the meeting went?
Well, first of all, I met the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, and he was amazing. So I showed him my apps. We were just talking, and he couldn't wait to see what I could make next. And Michelle Obama, she was amazing. So we were talking to each other, and she actually bowed down to me. Yes.
Did you participate in any competition around the world?
Sorry?
Did you participate in any competition around the world?
What? I don't.
Did you participate in any competition?
No, I haven't participated in any competition. But yes, but I just went to like.
Yeah, and the most important thing that you're the youngest web developer or app developer, sorry, in the world.
Yes.
Yuma, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you, Dr. Ahmed Rashed. Can you tell us about your initiative, Civilization Rights, to build the civilizations?
This is one of the tools which, again, could be to achieve 2030.
Yes.
I have this kind of belief, and I have some studies and research about, in previous I said that it's kind of the copyright of those who already commercially benefit from our heritage around the world. So those already been in museums, or the replica, which have for Tutankhamun or other projects, or for souvenirs. This should be, as if we consider it as a kind of product, and we are all sure of it. This kind of, we should have this kind of return to save our heritage here for exhibition, for all of this. And so I started many years, then we ended with a project with the National Academy of Science, and it became now one of the national initiatives. Last week have been launched by Professor Mahmoud Sa'ar, the director for the president of the National Academy, and within the team we are going to have a new concept rather than copyright. It's kind of civilization rights. So this is again a new meaning, that we said that we are the great civilization, and we should think for our rights if we are believers that we have a right. But it's not only for the benefit, the material benefit. One of the things that we should think from our side, how we upgrade ourselves to be, respected enough to this civilization. And I mentioned that why we should be the first to initiate. I mentioned that because the Egyptology, and for many reasons, all the jewelries of museums of the world, they benefit thousands and billions from our heritage, and we receive nothing. And there are many examples that we should compensate, but again, unfortunately, we said that it could be like a promotion to our heritage. It's not kind of promotion, and if we said that it's kind only promotion, those who already benefit from us will ask us for the cost of promoting. So we, from the other side, said that either or, we will pay or they should pay. But we have to find a way to have this kind of dialogue, and it is going to be a civilization dialogue like yesterday. And by research and scientific research, we could achieve for all of us to be responsible of how we do such initiative. So we started now with campaign, and then it's going again to be a competition. How we are going to get our rights from all over the world. Everybody who has an idea, okay, he is going to choose only one example. So if we think that we have a right for Nefertiti at Berlin, you should choose that one and put your own studies, study the law, study the logic, how you are going to communicate with the international community. Why I'm saying that? Because again, when we started this one from 18 years ago, we were thinking that it should be governmental one, a responsibility of the antiquities or whatever, authorization, or we go to the UNESCO, but it ended with that copyright is not going to give us the right. So now, who is going to be the debate? It is like the forum now today. It is from us to the international community. It is going to be something, for those who are paying for the ticket, you are going to ask them for the moral. If you are a believer that this is a very unique heritage and it should be, saved for the coming generations, percentage from your ticket should be returned to our. So it's going to be something that we need all to work on it, to have to explain to the whole community. And this is one of the tools that scientific, I used to say that if we're going to have a return, it started to be with 2030. So we need to prepare ourselves by studies. It's not going to say that if I'm going to approach one of the companies which already gain a lot and say, give me a return, they will never accept. But if we transfer it to be a win-win, what we meant by win-win, they are going to receive a promotion that they already supported the Egyptian heritage from benefit from us. This again was going to be one of the tools with other tools to raise this issue.
Well, Doctor, we will be continuing with you, but first of all, we will be having a phone call with our senior correspondent as well as colleague Taghreed Hussein, and she's attending the World Youth Forum. Good morning, Taghreed.
A very good morning to you, dear, and good morning to the dear viewers watching Nile TV's National and the Breakfast Show.
Well, would you tell us, please, more about the agenda of today's forum, please?
Well, today we're discussing actually more than one important headline. They are talking more concerning the challenges and issues facing the world's youth and means to overcome them towards building a better future for the youth at large. We're talking also about the challenges and issues facing the world's youth vis-a-vis the means of overcoming them towards building a better future. They are talking entrepreneurship and innovation. And what is quite interesting that they are talking more creativity. And even the slogan that some badges that we could see the youth wearing here would read the album like creativity is contagious, so pass it on. Creativity is energy. So the youth are talking creativity. They are the creative people. They are the future. They are talking innovation. They are tackling entrepreneurship and at the same time talking about their skills in shaping the future of the world. The forum is divided into various pillars to tackle themes and topics of interest to the international youth and create this sense of platform presenting ideas and sharing experiences through the different sessions that we are attending here. Mainly youth global issues come on top of the list. They are talking about the global issues that affect our world today. They are part and parcel, of course, of what's happening, and they should be aware of the consequences in order to be able to deal. Topics of terrorism, climate change, irregular migration, more concerning also the refugee crisis and peace in conflict zones. This in addition to sustainability and development, all are important issues that are discussed at the forum sessions, different sessions in different halls that are working vibrantly since the early morning. Engaging with those issues also and how their input and participation can bring about real change. Attendees, many of them are foreigners, as you know, are talking about exploring Egypt. So it's a great event where you can market Egypt in the full sense of the world with its rich culture and history. So they are talking about tourism. They are talking about culture and civilization. And this vibrant discussion concerning culture and identity was very evident. Yesterday, world-renowned archaeologist Dr. Zahi Hawass had addressed the gathering that provides an opportunity of how different civilizations and cultures can be integrated to complement one another. This in addition also to a very important address that was by Dr. Amani Abu Zaid, the Commissioner for Infrastructure and Energy in Africa, and Dr. Abu Zaid has highlighted the importance of how Africa should be united and work towards the priority of the continent, and how the youth are part and parcel of this success story, and their contribution will really make a difference. We're talking about diversity of civilizations and cultures that are central to creating a sense of dialogue around the role of arts and literature, and also use of soft power in resolving the different conflicts. So definitely the discussion here is very vibrant, Rasha, and leading to an understanding of the effect of globalization also on the cultural identity of the youth. Rasha.
Yes, yesterday there were several sessions and they were attended by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, including the session Differences Among Cultures, Civilizations, Conflict or Integration. Also there were several sessions about the empowerment of youth. What was the reaction of the youth during these sessions and the various participants in them?
Russia, they were really vibrant, they were interacting, and what was quite interesting that they were really enthusiastic to share and to take part. The President is always keen on listening to the youth. He considers them the main energy tool that is going to drive the country, and this is reflected on the different sectors in the Egyptian society. If you see today also leading positions, you will find the youth engaged. The assistant ministers are youth. Assistant governors in different governorates of Egypt are youth. So engaging them in the decision-making process is very important. It really addresses a sense of vitality and self-confidence in the youth themselves that they can make it. They are coming here to implement this slogan. The President wants to let them learn more on how to be implementers. It's very important to be implementers. So they talk and they implement what they talked about. They share ideas. They are more concerning the brainstorming of ideas, exploring various ideas and visions that are achieved by the youth for this sense of sustainable development around the world. Also, what is really interesting that the President is keen to listen to the different international experiences in this process of achieving sustainable development, giving the participants themselves the opportunity to present their innovative experiences in entrepreneurship and in technology, because as you know, the youth are very much affected by technology. Technology has a very important impact on the life of the youth, and this is also brought to the forefront of dialogue.
Yes, indeed. Yes, Taghreed, I'd like to thank you very much, because we will be going live in few minutes. I'd like to thank you very much for your feedback and the interviews you've conducted. Thank you very much, Senior Correspondent Taghreed Hussein, for this phone call. And I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed Rashed, the Director of the Farouk El-Baz Center for Sustainability. And also I'd like to thank my colleague. Thank you very much. Shireen.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. And this brings us to the end of today's edition of The Breakfast Show. See you tomorrow with a new crew.